right, 9mm versus 45 ACP and long slides. And today what I have is the Ranger T-Series in the 230 grain 45 ACP and the 127 grain plus P plus 9mm. And before I go much further, I just wanted to thank my patron Dan for supplying both boxes of this ammo here. So thank you very much. And before I mention anything else, yes, this is the same type of ammo. It's just this is a little older box. This is a newer box. These are both Ranger T, T series. Not the bonded, but T series. And on my past test with this 9mm, not this 9mm, but I did a 147 grain. It did not expand at all in my ballistic testing, and people were kind of complaining, oh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. But the truth is, it was a 147 grain, a very thick, solid copper plating, not plating, but true jacket. And we were doing sub 1,000 feet per second with some of those guns. So there is just no question why that happened. That's exactly what I would expect. But the reason why I'm testing these, you might ask, why are you testing a plus P plus versus a standard pressure? Well, the main reason is this kind of goes back to the day, back in the day when this used to always be the argument. If you're not going to go to a 45, what can you do to have the power of a 45, but a 9mm? And what you do is you push that up to a plus P plus. So rated from the factory, this has 441 foot-pounds energy. Doesn't list a barrel length that they tested that in. 441. This is 446. So from the factory, at least with the ratings with unknown barrels, this actually has a higher energy than the 9mm, even though this is standard pressure and this is plus P plus. So our guns fired are a Glock 41 with a 5.3 inch barrel, our M&P 9 with a 5-inch barrel. But because the 45 ACP is a longer cartridge, pretty much have identical barrel travel from the bullet nose to the muzzle. So it's a really fair comparison to test these two in these long slides. So we're going to go through the chronograph over here. We're going to see what kind of velocity and accuracy we're going to get at the same time. And then we're going to go through our ballistics gel block. And what I got here is 3 inches of clear ballistics, 10% clear ballistics, and I have another 16 inches. But in between this 3 inches and this 16 inches, I have 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard. That's going to represent like hitting ribs or sternum. That's something you're not going to get in straight gel. And typically what I found is this takes away about 2 inches of this, with the understanding that both bullets expanded the same or did not expand the same diameter. So if you were to get, let's say, 12 inches in this block right here, you're actually looking at 14 inches because of that medium density fiberboard. So what I want to do is go through that, and then I'm going to take that medium density fiberboard away, and that would represent like a gut shot, as where this is going to represent your chest shot. And then I'm going to go back there, and that will be a 50-yard distance from my IPSC full-size steel silhouette. And I'm just going to shoot these at that distance just to kind of see what kind of accuracy we might get with those, because the full length long barrels, Ranger T, I mean, these are law enforcement loads basically. So this might be something you might have to do if you're an officer. Shoot from a further range than, a typical concealed carrier might do. So enough with the talk, let's get started with the test. First up, I have our 45 ACP. It's rated at 935 feet per second. So that's a pretty good rating from the factory. But let's see what we get through this 5.3 inch Glock here. $958, $940, $942, $961, $940. So above rated velocity and also very consistent, very impressive. So let's see how the 9mm plus P plus does. All right, our 127 grain plus P plus, this is rated at 1250 feet per second. Let's see what I actually get out of my Smith & Wesson here. 1256, 1305, 1327, 1306, 1309. Like I was suspecting, they might have used a 4-inch barrel for this. So actually our 9mm is more powerful. So you know, a 127 grain at 1300 feet per second versus the last 9mm I tested, the 147 at less than 1,000. I think we're going to get expansion with this. So let's hit our ballistic gel block and let's see what kind of performance we get. All right, first up we have our 45 ACP 230 grain. Now I am a little bit concerned we're not going to get expansion and get a total pass through. That may or may not happen, but we're going to hit this with our fiberboard and see if we get any expansion. All right, good shot placement. And as I suspected, it just went right through that thing. All right, I put up another gel block I used for a different test. We'll go through the fiberboard again and we'll see if we can catch this round. Didn't feed the next round in. And it looks like we caught it and it came down to rest. You know, my angle is sometimes different from what the camera shows, but from what I'm seeing here, we're at 22 3/4. And then you add the fiberboard, that's like 24 3/4. And that bullet is right there. It just fell out on the ground. And here we are. We have absolutely zero expansion. So I'm going to run it without the fiberboard, just you know, follow up and do a complete test of this. All right, next round, just through the denim, no fiberboard. We'll see if this makes any difference at all. All right. So where did we go here? It just kind of went. And it appears it came out the side because there's a little bit bowed down section of this gel. So I am going to flip this over. We're going to do it one more time. And I'm going to try to catch this. All right, let's just see if I can catch one of these. And again, it's doing this. This is my stock setup too. It shouldn't be doing that. I'm just not seeing this bullet anywhere. I don't know where it went. I don't think it went out the side. I mean, it may have. This is where the first one went out the side. This is interesting. You know, I don't want to shoot up this side of the block because that's going to be for our 9mm, but I'm just going to have to try one more time. I'm just going to try to place this relatively low where I know I can catch this. I'm just not seeing this bullet anywhere. I see, oh, here it is. Never mind. It arced down. And we're sticking out at 28 inches. It's been so long since I shot that first one. I'm trying to remember if that's the same. But what we got is exactly the same thing without fiberboard. No expansion. So let's move on to our 9mm. All right, 9mm plus P plus. We'll see if this can do any better. So we went through this fiberboard, no problem here. Take that out for our next shot. And here we are. No expansion as far as I can tell. We're at 22 1/4, 24 1/4 if you count that fiberboard. Let's move on to the gut shot. All right, no fiberboard. We'll see how this does. I don't see the bullets. Weird, weird, weird. I'm gonna move this over a little bit. We got a good 3 inches this way. You know, it doesn't look like it on camera, but we do. And I'm gonna try to hit this right in this block, and we're gonna catch this bullet. We're gonna hit it right about there. So let's catch this bullet. I don't see a bullet. Come on, what's going on? Let me just shoot a few, I guess. Yeah, I see a lot of pass going right through all this. So we exceeded 39 inches. No, it's 632, 35 inches. We exceeded 35 inches. Yeah, went right through. That's not good. And before anybody says anything, people have said this time and time again in my last test of this. You're doing something wrong. You did this. Your calibrated gel's wrong. Blah, blah, blah. This is brand new from Clear Ballistics. I have the certificate. Remelted it once. Didn't get any water in it. It's fine. And the reason why it's fine, you'll see other bullets in that gel block that expanded from other tests I did in my secondary block there. I've been doing tests constantly behind the scenes before I release videos, and I get expansion, all kinds of ammo. No, it's this ammo. I just want to hit that home because it's not something I'm doing. I'm using a legitimate testing method here. And what's happening, at least with the 45, makes a lot of sense because that is a really, really, really hard jacket. Let me go grab that bullet and show you really quick. Now, on a lot of ammo like gold dots, you basically have a lead core and then you have this plating that goes around it. It's thicker than a plated bullet, but it's pretty much a thick plating. It's, you know, it's paper thin. On stuff like this, if you can see this, that jacket that goes around that bullet is massive, and it goes all the way around that, all the way up to the front here. The construction of that bullet is just like that. So it is a lot of copper. This is an expensive bullet in terms of copper. There's a lot of copper. Copper is a lot harder than lead. This makes sense why this isn't expanding. That's why they make bullets that don't expand out of copper, like TUI and Extreme Defenders and Penetrators. Makes sense to me. But anyways, let's shoot these from 25, actually 50 yards, 50 yards, and see how they do at my silhouette target. All right, after that Ranger test, before I put everything away, I noticed this over here. We had our gel block sitting up on this ledge here, and, you know, our trajectory, from my trajectory is this way. You know, I shoot through where there's nothing really there. But, you know, it drifted enough this direction. But it hit the sign I had up here just for, you know, display. But it did not have enough power to go through it. But you can see right now, it's definitely a 45. You know, the height from the base up to the nose is the same as that 45. So I know it's that one. And then also, not only did it hit that going that way, my target here, I have another sideways bullet hitting this target. So we're at least 6 feet apart from drifting one way to the other. So that's definitely interesting. All right, still silhouette down there, 50 yards. And while this is not an ideal concealed carry round, if I was a Ranger, name of the ammo there, and I had to shoot at 50 yards to, let's say, a car windshield, and 50 yards in the woods looks far, but 50 yards out on the street is not far at all. If I had to shoot like a suspect through a car windshield, this is exactly what I'd want. I'd want this not only because it's a non-expanding bullet and it's a little heavier than typical, but also because at the hollow point, you shift that weight of that bullet back to the rear. And it's kind of the opposite of like archery arrows, where it's more accurate if you have weight up front. Bullets are more accurate when you have weight towards the rear. It's a weird thing. So this is exactly what I'd want in that type of situation. So let's see how our 9mm does. So not too bad. I missed more than what I wanted to, but not too bad. It hits pretty hard. Let's try the 45. All right, 45 ACP. Now it has less power than that particular 9mm, but you know, 45 retains more energy down range, and it also has more momentum, so that might make a difference. So let's see what we get. I didn't hit that mag release at all. That's Glock perfection for you. Hit that target pretty hard there. See, I actually had to swap this over to the left-hand side because I would hit it with my hold on this side, but on this side I don't touch it because it's a Vickers. It's rounded. So I know I didn't hit that. Same type of jam thing going on that I was getting before. That is weird. So, pretty good accuracy overall. So, Ranger T-Series. You know, I've tested 3 boxes of it so far. And I also tested some Winchester Defender bonded. And the bonded, actually, I thought it was different. I thought it was more like Gold Dot, and it was not. It's the base looked just like T-Series. Have not got around in T-Series or PDX1 Defender to work well unless it's like 9mm bonded or 38 plus P bonded. Not got a 45 to expand yet in these Winchester rounds. So anyways, that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.